All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name's Finn Kramer. I'm with Brian Grizzly and Brandman Brandon down here. What is up, guys?
Man,
same old.
Yep. So
I just want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you, because that was great. So yeah,
the movie, the recommendation. So there's nothing else in the theaters going on right now. Black Adam is still dominating for at least one more week until Black Panther shows up.
Hey, it's at 350 million now.
Yeah. 3 weeks in a row, number one. So that's a whole nother conversation we got to talk about. Is it a failure or not? Because that's you go either way. But there's that, and like I said, we got another next week. We're talking Black Panther, like the big movie that everyone's got a lot of feelings about.
Yep.
So nothing in theater. So we're like, what else is going on? And then we forgot that Weird Al movie is out and it's free, which is always good. So we wind up watching the trailer, which I'll link up here if you want to watch the trailer, our trailer reaction with the Cult Lords. So shout out to Cult Lords. I'm gonna add that up there above us. So we watched it. I think we liked the trailer. Yep. We laughed. So like, okay. So I ended up forgetting about it. So I got downloaded that Roku channel app and wind up watching it. So we're gonna talk about it. I think we all watched it. So.
I gotta say, my reaction is my exact reaction while watching the movie. And the movie ended, I went like, what the hell did I just watch?
But with a smile on your face, like that was me. I'm like, what was
I was
that?
Totally confused. It was awesome, but I was totally confused. I was like, dude. I was like, was he the greatest artist of our time? Maybe he was. In that exact genre.
What did he say? He said, maybe not the greatest, but somewhat the best in a very niche category. It was him and Prince. Which is great. So we're talking. We'll talk about some of the good stuff, some of the bad stuff, and then get into our ratings at the end. But since we're already kind of talking about some of the good stuff, what were some of the other stuff that you guys liked?
Just the approach they took. I loved that it was a parody of like typical biopic tropes. That was the funniest thing about it. Originally, when they announced the movie, I kind of expected it to be like a straightforward biopic, but they went the parody route, which was appropriate for a parody art for Weird Al, the parody artist. What are you talking about?
First of all, this wasn't a parody. This has actually happened. Weird Al is literally the greatest artist in that very niche category, the greatest pop singer. He is literally the greatest hitman. John Wick got his moves from Weird Al. He's everything. And then he's probably the best lover. He's everything. I couldn't believe it. And he got six pack. Unbelievable. I was like, you know what? I wish I would have known better. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And then Michael Jackson, how dare he steal his music? How you gonna steal Eat It? Eat It is a classic. And you just gonna steal that from him? And then you see, I know I thought this was a little bad, but the Coolio thing, I was like, too soon, man. That was too soon.
I mean, it makes sense with his story, because it is very much part of the story. Let's see. House and Nerd Show said, I got about 1/3 of the way through Weird Al. I was expecting more of a straight up biopic, which is a parody style, threw me off. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're expecting like an actual parody, yeah, you learned that right away.
Mm-hmm.
It was all right, but got old, so I stopped. Oh, really? You got old for you?
I mean, if someone doesn't like that slapstick type of comedy, I mean,
yeah.
And the story just kept on going. Like it hit that joke and just kept on going at that joke the entire time. So if you don't like that type of thing, yeah, I could understand you not wanting to see it anymore.
But it's very much Weird Al. After watching it, I'm like, what else did I expect besides him doing another parody? Like Brandon said, it's like it was a parody of a biopic. It was like, of course it is. That's what he does. So it's like yeah. But yeah,
I love how it went from like being a parody of that to going like full on absurdist comedy, like the whole like third act.
Yeah.
But isn't it like
completely off the rails?
But if you don't like Dumb, there's a lot of people that don't like Dumb and Dumber.
Mm.
Mhm.
A lot of people that didn't like Step Brothers. There's a lot of people
Blasphemy.
who don't like those type of movies. So if it's too crazy for you, I can understand you not liking it. It was very weird and very just cringy for me sometimes, and
Mhm.
I like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It just does. So
Yeah. I like it when, and for me, like going back to like say like the Thor Love and Thunder, them doing the goats 100 times, I find that funny. You know, but I get it why people are like, okay, yeah, it got old quick. I'm like, did it though? Not for me. Like I love when jokes go through cycles. Like it was funny, and it was not funny, and it was annoying, then it was funny again. Like I like when jokes gotta go through cycles.
Like the Hey Boy. That was great.
Oh,
that was perfect.
The Hey Boy.
In fact, they came back around. Yeah.
Give it a shot, yeah. Yeah, you definitely gotta be in the right mood for it.
You know what? I don't smoke
give you
or
that.
do anything like that, but I bet you if you were high, you would love this movie. People that are high would probably just think this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like I can see it.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, you definitely got to be in the mood. Like if you want to sit down and watch a serious movie and you're expecting a serious movie, like I really want to know how he got famous. This ain't it.
Yep.
This is not it. Like that whole scene for me of him going from making the song, recording the song, mailing it, and then like turning on the radio, and it's like it's our most requested song all week, and we just got it yesterday or this morning. And that was like there was so many of those things like that, and then just this funny silly things where you're like, oh, like I get why he said that, you know, like the whole Will Forte talking shit about Weird Al, you know, he like, oh, you're a loser, you're this, as the actual Weird Al is on the other side of the desk. You know, so for me that's like pretty funny. So
He said, House of Nerd Show says, I dig Step Brothers and Dumb and Dumber, but I hated those goats. They were cringy. And he said, that's exactly what it was, that Tank. I was expecting something more serious.
Yeah.
And it definitely is not serious. There's nothing about this whole thing. But you know what's serious? Madonna. Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, Evan Rachel Wood was great.
She was great.
Madonna.
She was great.
The way her and Dan Radcliffe played off each other was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Dude, she became the drug kingpin. It's like she became a drug lord. It was
so funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
It was so good. For me, like this movie was, well, you want to tell them the joke that you sent the group and I didn't get it, and then I know why I didn't get it though.
So it's Daniel Radcliffe, right? So that's Harry Potter. So they at one point in time, what's this guy's name? The
Dr. Demento.
Dr. Demento said something like, he says, you can call me Demento, you can call me your mentor, you call me your Dementor. And then he looks at the camera, and then Daniel Radcliffe goes like, I was like, and to me, I'm like, you can't say Dementor to Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. You know, call him a Dementor. I was like, that's a little heavy-handed, right? That's what
dude, I did not. You sent that, and I
did not catch that.
I didn't either, and I told my girlfriend, I'm like, oh my god, I didn't catch that, and it makes sense because, you know, like you said, in it when he's told him, he's kind of like they're smiling and laughing, and Dan Radcliffe was like, ha, ha. Yeah. And he kind of like gives a little smirk, and I'm like, what was that about? You know why though? I didn't see Harry Potter. I didn't see Daniel Radcliffe. He played Weird Al so damn good. He played Weird Al so good.
You got to respect Daniel Radcliffe. Like ever since Harry Potter, which, you know, he made his Harry Potter money. He's good for like at least 4 lifetimes, probably more. And now he's just doing roles, the roles that he wants to play, and he's like absolutely crushing it. You know,
I love all the little movies, all the little side movies he does. I love the TBS stuff. I love all that stuff. I think Daniel Radcliffe is hilarious. And he has very good comedic timing, which is surprising because you see him. He could have been Mark Hamill. He literally he could have been. Daniel Radcliffe could be a star. if he really wanted to.
Mhm.
But instead, he's just doing it for the love. It's like he's just enjoying what he's doing and making money doing it.
Yeah.
So
Because there's some movies that he does that are kind of questionable. Was Swiss Army Man was
I think that's his favorite one. He said he loves Swiss Army Man.
It was good, but it was like you had to be in the mood for that kind of movie. It was weird.
Exactly.
But
I thought Swiss Army Man was great. Just for some of the facial expressions he makes as the corpse.
Yeah. He did that Akimbo, which I've yet to see Akimbo yet. But it's like the guns are surgically attached to his arm or hand, something along those lines.
Maybe he has to learn how to
bolted to his hands.
take off his hands with the guns.
Yeah. I didn't see that one. I gotta check that one out. But this movie, like legit, like it, playing somebody else who's an actual person, but playing a person, but that is like telling a parody story of somebody else's life is like a whole nother level of like craziness. It's like, I'm playing Weird Al, but I'm playing Weird Al what he thought happened in his head because he thinks he's so cool. It's like who goes to a polka party and thinks he's like the whole accordion.
What kids have a polka party?
It was his rock and roll. It was like like that. It was like, you're listening to that rock and roll. It was like, you listen to that polka. I was like, what? Oh, that was another thing. That was the first one that had me cracking up. So young Weird Al is at the party and he gets the accordion and he knows how to play. We know he knows how to play, and it cuts to just the accordion. No. Did you see his arm though? It's all hairy, veiny. It's not a 16-year-old boy. And I'm like, wait a minute. And that got me because I'm like, I think that was Weird Al actually playing it, but it cuts to him who's like this kid, and then it cuts to just the accordion, and you see that a hairy arm with the veins. Like that's like a 60-year-old man's arm.
Hilarious.
So that was the first one. Yeah. So it was little things like that got me, like little silly things, that got it. So
no, dude, Madonna is what got me so much. Like I enjoyed so much, but the fact that she was like planning everything out, and then like that turn in the end was great. And you saw it coming, and you knew it was happening, but they just, even when you see it coming, they flip it on his head still.
Yeah,
it's so good.
So let me do a quick rundown of all the cameos. We got a lot of cameos. I didn't know that many people wanted to be in a damn Weird Al movie because holy crap! Yeah. So obviously Daniel Radcliffe is Weird Al. Evan Rachel Wood is Madonna. Rainn Wilson, Dr. Demento, which he played that role great.
He was
Dr. Demento. Quinta Brunson was Oprah Winfrey. She's from Elementary.
No, from what's called
Abbott Elementary.
Abbott, yeah.
Or yeah. I guess Elementary is technically a different show. Yeah.
Abbott Elementary is great. She's big deal.
Yeah. Will Forte was in it. He was one of the I don't know, executive guys.
Yeah.
Jack Black was Wolfman Jack.
Wolfman Jack.
Which was crazy.
That scene was great too. Don't you want to play at Rite Aid or whatever that is?
Yeah. Live Aid, yeah.
Queen Live Aid with Queen. He's like, no, I won't play that. That's so stupid.
Yeah. And the guy playing, which was funny because they get the least known Queen member.
Yeah, John Deacon.
John Deacon. Everyone's like, huh? He's like, from Queen. He's like, yeah,
the drummer for Queen.
So, but even that guy, I can't think of his name, but he was the Polka Dot Man from the Suicide Squad.
David Dasmalkian, or however you say his name.
Yeah. He was that. Then we got was it Jorma Takun was Pee Wee Herman, so we had Pee Wee Herman in it. Was it Akiva Schaffer? I don't know. Akiva Schaffer.
Yeah.
He was was he? I don't know. Alice Cooper. He was at Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien. Which was
Conan O'Brien.
Which was that got me. Paul F. Tompkins was Gallagher. That was pretty funny. Oh, there we go. Yeah, David that's Malflashin was John Deacon. From Queen. This like one of the first cameos, Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, okay.
And he was just there for like 2 minutes. It's just I just want to be part of it.
I guess so. Well, here goes. In real life, Lin-Manuel Miranda revealed in a recent interview that when he met Weird Al for the first time, he pooped the bed and talked his lifelong idol out of working with him in an unrealized musical. That's funny.
That's awesome.
So, Patton Oswalt was like the heckler, they're calling him.
Yeah.
You know, that whole thing in the bar was awesome.
Get off.
Yeah. Arturo Castro with Pablo Escobar, who was in Narcos. So yeah,
that was so
awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
That whole scene was so good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then Weird Al himself was one of the other executives. But I know Josh Groban was the waiter.
Yep.
We heard Seth Green's voice is one of the radio people. There's so many freaking people. It was just like never ending.
Yeah, I know Diedrich Bader like did the narration version of Weird Al. His narration.
Yeah,
which was hilarious.
I'm trying to see who else we got in there.
So good.
Oh, Thomas Lennon was the salesman. I love Thomas Lennon. He always plays little roles.
Yeah, he was a salesman. Yeah. The one guy's butt whooped.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Like, we will buy. Yeah. But I like the mom's like, we will buy that accordion. He's like, oh great. I think my lungs collapsed.
I think my lungs collapsed.
Yeah. So yeah, there's just so many people. Like, I don't think I ever would have thought Jack Black, Weird Al, and Lin-Manuel Miranda would all be in one movie. Like, that's what? Wait, why would that happen?
Right.
Hey, man, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Here's my question. Is there anything in this movie that you did not like, that you thought was too much or just did not fit?
What you got, Brandon?
I can't really think of anything on the fly right now because I think, I don't think there's a such thing as too much when it comes to this movie. I think that if you're going absurdist humor, I don't think there's really any limits.
That's true.
So that worked for me. Yeah. I think you might have to circle back to me. Let me think on it for a minute.
Yeah. So, I'll go because I know like House of Nerd Show, what they were saying, it wasn't expecting it. So I think if you're expecting a real biopic, you're probably gonna get let down because it's not. But if you go in just for a fun time, you really enjoy it. I can see where people, like Brandon did say, like being too much is kind of like that's the whole point of this movie. But I can see people getting annoyed by stuff like that. For me, I love that kind of stuff, so it worked. But I do understand why that off puts people, because by the third act, like you guys were saying, it's so off the rails.
It's the same story.
It's so off the rails.
Yeah. I mean, like he's kicking people's butt. He's doing Liam Neeson stuff. He's doing John Wick stuff. I mean, it's just assassination stuff. I mean, zombie stuff. I mean, it's just anything you can think of was just thrown in there.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I didn't like is when he made up with his dad finally, and his dad told him the story and all that stuff, and then he went off and took the song, made them song, and they said, "Dad, see, I told you." I was like, all right, that was unnecessary. Like you could have just said, okay, they could have had a nice story with that, and then did all the other absurd stuff. But I just thought that was a little too much. I was like, you finally connected with your dad, and you're still an asshole that much.
Yeah. I didn't think about that part.
Like it's just kind of a little cringy for me, and then his mom said, I'm getting fat. And he just said, I'm fat. I love that. I was like, what the hell, dude? Come on. He's setting you up the entire time. Come on.
I love that part because she even said it. She goes, oh, I'm fat. Yeah, I'm fat. I know it. And they all look at Weird and he's like, huh? And they're like, she's like, really? Like, I thought that was funny.
I was like, come on, man.
Yeah. Instead, they go into Amish paradise. Yeah, and then he realized, like, wait, what did that thing you said before? I thought that was so stupid. It was good.
Hey, How Much Paradise was great because you know what? Daniel Radcliffe could rap, but we already knew that because we've seen him rap the ABCs backwards and all that stuff. So
yeah, Jesus, yeah. All right, what you got, Brandon? You think of anything or not really?
If not really. I think that the whole thing with his, like making amends with his father, it kind of worked in the context to me because, like we said, this was spoofing a lot of those tropes that you see in biopics. Including, we've seen a handful where something goes sour with this musician's parents, or they have a falling out with a family member, and eventually they patch things up. So that was just another trope to me that it was spoofing. So that worked for me in that context.
I thought that was already there because he's like, man, I should have kept the publishing rights. I felt like that was enough. Saying that he still screwed his dad out of that, thought that was enough. But him saying, like I just thought that was just whatever. Okay,
yeah. But I think what you were saying was like that trope of that bad childhood and then doing your thing and then realizing like, oh, maybe he was hard on me for a reason and coming back and making everything better. Like that's just like a trope so many movies do, and that definitely took it. And and I think it was a cute moment and stuff like that. But it was also like because the part was he's like, oh, I destroyed the idea before he became a dream, and he was like, that okay, that makes sense. like what? Okay, but yeah, that whole scene was a little out of place. But I feel like anytime they do that in most movies, it's a little out of place anyway. Like because it's always such a hard. Like
this is hard turn
into like this like emotional thing, no matter what movie it is. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny for the most part. He was Amish.
I was like, wait a minute. So Yankovic, and then like his hair, and he's actually half Amish. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Doesn't have to make sense. Whatever.
No, this movie made no damn sense at all. But it was such fun. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, you just want to get into our ratings for this.
I want to ask you one question before we get in the ratings.
Yeah.
Is this something that's watchable again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it again. Might even watch it again tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that you miss, like the mentor thing. I didn't get that until you said it. Me neither. I think I sound like you guys didn't see the hairy old man arm that was supposed to be like a kid playing the accordion. I don't know if you guys got that, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff that none of us caught. That is happening in the background or something silly. So I definitely wanna go back and watch it again. For sure. It was a good time.
Which one did she say she liked? Weird Madonovich?
That's Weird Donna
Madonovich or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was
I wonder, so before we get, I wonder how they felt about that. I wonder how Madonna felt about this movie. Because it didn't really portray her in the best light, but also it was a character with her name. It really wasn't her.
Yeah, but she was a queen pin at all that too.
But she's also she was like the Yoko Ono of the group, kind of.
She was Yoko
Ono, like breaking up the group, for her own reasons. So
Madonna seems to possess a pretty good like sense of humor. If you've seen interviews with her, and I think she can, she's been around long enough to where she can handle, kind of being poked fun of. She doesn't seem like the type who would get offended by that, going by interviews and that sort of thing with her.
Like,
so
I hope not.
I think if she did see it, I think I'm pretty confident in thinking she probably had a laugh.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, they even made fun of that when they're at the dinner table and she's like, "Oh, you need to do this." He goes, "You know me better than anybody. We've been together for 6 hours. I trust you."
Yeah.
So he even made a joke at them being together for such a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was funny. But yeah, so many little parts in it. I want to rewatch it again for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but Evan Rachel Wood was like another like huge shining point. I want to see her do more comedy. I was so used to her in Westworld before this.
Well, now she's got the time.
Yeah. Right.
Man.
Yeah.
They canceled Westworld without even giving us a warning.
Yeah. She even has some odd songs. Who's
Really?
that? Madonna. I don't know all her library, but
yeah, I'm not too big huge on her discography. So
yeah,
I'll
like
take
a Virgin
I'll take
is kind of weird. So
yeah.
I mean, I know a few more.
Yeah,
I do know.
Yeah,
I know the ones on the Dick Tracy soundtrack and
and way callback.
And I know a lot of stuff on music because I actually own that album. Actually, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
That was like
Gaga. Yeah.
Oh, easily.
I mean, just like a prayer, I'll take you there. That video. Do you remember how controversial that video was when it came out? Having like the black Jesus there, played by Leon.
Yeah,
people losing their damn mind.
I remember like that was when MTV was like, and
when it peaked.
Yeah.
Like, she had her thing, but I think that was awesome. Making her a Colombian drug lord. That was just great.
So funny. So hilarious.
She couldn't shoot Weird Al. It's like shooting everywhere.
Yeah.
No, how about the guy in the front row with the machine gun? He's like loading up, and everyone's just sitting there looking at him the entire time.
Well, the best part is when he stands up, he's like in the third row.
He's like,
yeah. I thought that was funny because I'm like, you expect him to be somewhere way in the back, and like he stands up and he's like right there.
But he's sitting there the whole time with the gun, just sitting there, just waiting. All right, it's almost time.
Yeah. That's why this movie was so stupid. It was so good.
And then she had that scar over her eye, like
the patch. I want a whole solo movie of what happened there. Like what you do.
I want to see what happens with them afterwards. After he grabs her from a zombie, did he plan this whole thing out?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead. Great. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. It's, all right, so we rate things a little bit differently. We do now, later, or never. Now means drop what you're doing, go watch it now. It's worth it. Later means you can wait till it's streaming or wait till you watch it while you're doing the dishes or something like that. And never means just skip it. It is not worth the time of day. With that being said, I'll let Brian, I'll let you go first. What are you giving Weird Al?
I'm going to give it. See, I know you guys are going to give it a definite now. I'm going to give it a later, and for this reason. I want you to watch it when you have time. Whenever you have time to watch it, watch it. I don't think you have to drop everything you're doing right now to go watch this. Do I think the movie is good enough to actually go and be into the movie theater. But do I think this is one of those like, this is not Wakanda Forever. I mean, this is not like the greatest movie of all time. This is not one of those things. It's like, it's a very good movie. It's a good streaming movie. I said I would watch it in the movie theater, but I'm not going to drop everything to watch it. So I'm going to give it later.
Okay, I get that. What about you, Brandon?
This was hilarious to me. I had a lot of fun watching it, so I can pretty confidently and easily give this a now. It was just a really hilarious and entertaining watch. If you really like, but you have to be into that brand of humor.
Very
and you have
category.
And you have to be willing to roll with that kind of, like I said, absurdist type humor that it goes for. If you could do that, this will be right up your alley. If you could do that, I'll give it a now.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna give it a now, but you know, Brian like kind of made a good point, which also House of Nerd said is, I think you need to be in the mood for this one. You know, like, you know, but if you understand Weird Al and what he does with songs and, you know, goofs on them, but also like pays respect to it, that's what this movie is. You know, he's goofing on his life while also like kind of paying some respect to like how he got there, how he got, you know, to where he is, you know. So, you know, I mean, I don't know many people that own a Weird Al album, but everyone knows the Weird Al song, because
Yeah.
he made fun of it's not really made fun of. He parodied one of your favorite artists.
Yep.
I love when he got so angry. He's like, "How dare you parody my song?" That was so good.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Yeah, because that's some of the people. That's how they acted. When they found out Weird Al did that. So that's like, I that's why I feel like a lot of this was half truth or exaggerated truth.
On the other end, him acting like he's the one that was getting parodied. I feel like that's what the other people were doing to him. He got lawsuits and cease and desist letters and all that stuff, and that's it. Why he flipped on his head. It's a very intelligent movie. The movie is obviously like genius level type of stuff. I feel like that's the way he wrote it. But I also believe that this is not going to be. It's not a blockbuster movie. Even though I put it in the description, I was like, this is an epic, unbelievable, thing. But it's not that. And it's very good. It's something you're going to enjoy watching, but you don't have to watch it today. You can watch it Saturday and be just fine.
Yeah. I mean, there are rumors that Daniel Radcliffe might win an Academy Award for this thing, which is insane. Which is insane. So I don't know for what. Yeah, because I don't see this kind of movie being for Best Actor. But it's really not a biopic or documentary, so I don't know what category it would fall under. But that's the issue of Weird Al in general.
Niche category.
Like Best Actor that played somebody that was exaggerated as themselves. It'd be Danny Radcliffe and I don't know,
on a streaming service, with a P in it. It's okay. Hey,
but. It was definitely interesting. I actually, going back to that one question you said, are you going to watch it again? I'm going to watch the credits because during the credits, about halfway through the credits, because I was waiting for something at the end. Maybe he did something with Coolio or something, just like a tribute. Because I know him and Coolio had a lot of issues.
Yeah, that's
for a song.
That was something I thought that was a little bit too much because of their.
Yeah, but it's hard. Like this was filmed a long time ago. Like, but we saw the trailer for the movie before Coolio had passed away. So it's like, what do you do? So that's why I thought maybe he had something at the end, like, rest in peace, Coolio or something, which it didn't. So that's all I get. I'm like, okay, maybe, but they had a lot of issues, for their song, that he parodied. But as I was waiting for the end, the entire credits is a Weird Al song about the movie. And I missed about half of it because I wasn't paying attention. And then I started paying attention. I'm like, he's talking about the movie. And he's like, oh, this really happened. This kind of happened. It was like, like, what? So like, I want to go back and listen to the lyric, or at least, like maybe read the lyrics and see what he was saying. Cause he's like, a lot of this happened except for that one part and this part and that part. This was kind of true. So I was like, shit, okay. So, and then I think he even says like, oh, now the song could be considered for an Academy Award. Like that. Which is kind of funny. But
I just want to drop this in here very quick.
Yes.
Fellas, this is a movie that should have been released in theaters where you are high as shit and laughing nonstop while having the munchies.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies too. That's why you can sit there and just have a good time and be, high or drunk or whatever and watch it, or you can sit there and like dissect a lot of the parts that have double meanings and stuff like that. So
it was done, genius level stuff. But
well done. Yeah. So I liked it. Did Weird Al write it? Yeah, he did write the screenplay with the director. So yeah.
I'm rating it later. I really enjoyed the hell out of the movie. Just in case anyone was wondering, I'm thinking the average person will watch this and be like, what the fuck? It's just like, really. But I enjoyed it because I like a lot of different movies and I watched a lot of different things. I think it's funny. It really is funny. I think it's even deceptively funny. Like you don't even realize how funny it really is until you probably watch it 2 or 3 times. I rewinded it like 2 or 3 times. I was like, what? Did I miss that? And then caught stuff. And I think it's going to be really good. But I do see a lot of people having problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People are probably not gonna like the fact that Prince is in it. They're like, just respect Prince. Like, it was good. He didn't say anything about Prince.
No, I thought that was funny. And then I had to sit there and think. I'm like, has Prince ever played the accordion? I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, that man is a music.
Plays
genius.
everything.
Like,
he plays everything else. I'm pretty sure he did play accordion.
Yeah, I'm trying to like sit back. I'm like, I'm like, that's on my like list of like, I need to Google this now.
Like, he plays piano, guitar, every instrument he ever pick up, he just pick up and play. So I'm like, hey, he probably did play the accordion, whatever.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's like, I felt like that wasn't more of making fun of rather than like a tribute to. Like, oh, the only other niche person that could beat me is somebody like Prince. So he puts himself against arguably one of the best musicians of all time, which is funny.
I gotta still say, the whole thing with the Michael Jackson jacket that he's like, I ain't fucking wearing the jacket. I'm not doing it. I thought that was hilarious too.
Yeah. The whole conversation. He goes, I'm gonna be linked forever with Michael Jackson, and then the actual Weird Al, guy, he goes, oh no, that's fine. There's nothing that could be bad with that. So
that's so bad.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
the guy from the Jackson 5. Yeah. Why is he doing? How dare he think he can come and do a parody of my song?
Yeah, like, well, he actually has a very good career. It's like, I don't give a shit. Yeah, so that's why I was like, there's so many layers, and like, if you know things about either the actors that like Harry Potter, him being Harry Potter, that joke, I'm sure there's got to be an Office reference in there now.
Yeah.
For Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, when I rewatch, I'm definitely gonna turn my phone off and lay it face down and just give it my undivided attention because I want to see what I want to see what I missed.
Yeah,
I was hoping that I was gonna see just Ron Weasley just walking across the stage, just walk across the screen, just randomly, just at some point, or we're out like rubbing his forehead, like and having a mark on his hand, his forehead. That's the stuff that would be great too.
He might, because he got in that car crash and he was all jacked up, and I wonder, like, do you see a little zigzag on his forehead?
when she had to go right back to the stage.
He's got to be on stage in 30 minutes.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. So we're loving it. This was
so fun.
Very unexpected this movie. I thought it was gonna be good. I didn't know it was gonna be this good because it was something else. Even the synopsis, like it's saying he's an instant success and sex symbol. I was like, okay. They did. Weird Al wrote the synopsis as well. So
hey, did you I put around about this, I said this epic totally true biopic details the life and times of the greatest icon of a very niche genre ever created. Please join us to help revel in the greatness that's known as the man Weird Al.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So I thought this was good. It just I don't know if it's, you have to go see it today. But if you got Veterans Day off, or if you off of work tomorrow for because of voting or election day and stuff, this would be something good to watch.
Yeah. All right, and I'm gonna ask a question, but I'm gonna have it be its own segment. So if you're watching live, stick around. If you're watching on replay, thank you. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about Weird, or what was it called? It was called Weird, the Al Yankovic.
Al Yankovic story.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah. So let us know what you thought about that if you checked it out. And then make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know you like our movie reviews and stuff like that. And we are on our way to 500. So we are zooming through 400 subscribers. And at 500, we got a pretty cool giveaway. So we're going to announce that pretty soon, within the next couple weeks or so. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell everybody. And cool. But that is it for this one. Let's get out of here and talk about some other stuff. Later.
Thanks, guys.